from the Radio for One studios in Franklin, Michigan. Welcome to the Detroit Cast.
Big fan.
A show not just free of charge, but free of FCC regulations.
Thank you for your support of the Detroit Cast.
Oh, there it is.
And without further delay, it's showtime. Please welcome the Detroit Cast. Here are your hosts, Mike and Jay.
Well, hello everybody. Good day. Welcome to the show with Mike and Jay. Shalom, Biggie. Hello, Jay.
Gentlemen,
How are you, my friend?
well to quite well, Michael.
I am not so well.
What happened, Mike?
Well, I don't know. I want to get your opinion on something. As you know, we're in that time of the year where
Pussy
leaves
old man.
fall. No. I do have
Oh,
a
dude,
grievance,
if we're
by
going
the
to talk about clearing leaves, I'm with you, man.
way.
Listen, God, I will rake my leaves,
Yeah,
okay?
I know.
I will rake my leaves, sir.
Well, God's got to make a decision. If you're going to let the leaves, if you're going to go, okay, it's time and fall, then the leaves start falling. You need to let them all fall before you go, snow time.
Yeah.
It's bullshit, dude. Like, these leaves are on the ground. They haven't even all fallen off the tree yet. And so the guys that come here and they're here all day, dude, and you have big machines. It would take me a month to do it.
I remarked the other day, I believe, Mike, that this Franklin area, up and down your street, up and down all these streets, every inch of these lawns and driveways are covered with probably 5 leaves, right?
Yeah.
Every single inch.
Yeah.
It's like,
It's crazy.
yeah, it's amazing, man. These huge ass old trees.
And so these guys come and they clean them off. And usually it's like there's not a leaf on the property when they're done. You know what I mean? They go through the backyard, the front yard, the whole thing. But I'm looking and it's like the trucks pull up and everyone's doing their thing. And I'm like, there's like snow covering the leaves. How the hell are they going to do this? And to no surprise, they went through the backyard. I'm looking back there. I'm like, dude, there are just frozen leaves stuck to the pavement all over here.
They're not
and in
going to
the
go back there
beds.
with their fingernails?
I don't know.
Require it, Mike. You're
But
paying
I'm
for
like,
the
dude,
service.
Pay for the service. There's almost like
Peel them up, gentlemen.
do I have an argument to be made? Is there an argument to be made?
Spackling knives. Hey, somebody sent us these the other day.
Okay.
The Bob Ross palette knife kit.
Sure.
Get those out there. Look at that. That's
Sure.
perfect. Little spackle knives.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Yeah, there's a bunch of them in there too. Each one of the guys can take one.
Send
you know,
Jesus
and
out
do
there.
your
He'll show
thing.
them how it's done.
No, thank you.
But anyway, so I'm like, do I have a bitch? Like, I don't want to call. Like, they were here for hours doing their thing, and then it's like,
Well, when did you call? Wait a minute. When did you call them, and when did you ask them to be
no,
here?
well, they're just. This is the time of year they're doing it. They do
No,
the
you
whole
don't have a bit.
neighborhood.
You're seriously asking, like, should they get all these leaves that
Yeah.
are frozen? No. Dude, they've done a hell of a job. Yeoman's work.
and nobody. By the way,
Dude,
most people
I
never
still
have.
have
supposed to
leaves.
do?
I not wait till it melts or something. I
when
don't
did you call?
know.
When you say it's this time of the year, when is this? What, they don't just show up on their own at some point.
Yeah, they
right?
say we're doing our leaf pickup now, and it's like, okay, we'll come do your leaf pickup, I
Dude,
guess.
you
But how are you going to do it with snow?
I
all
thought you were
over?
totally joking. Like you're thinking you honestly have a gripe here. No,
I'm paying
man.
for leaf removal from the property. The fact that
It's
there's
impossible
a
to get all the
shitload-
leaves, and no matter what, in the perfect condition.
They've done it every other year.
No, they haven't.
You also pay for somebody to clip your lawn every time. Do they get every single blade, Mike? Do you go out there and bitch about
Now that's
if
absurd.
they miss a little area if they didn't
Ugh.
weed whip
You know,
correctly?
I can't win a fucking thing in this guy.
No, I think that's totally
it's an unfair
unreasonable.
room.
It's unreasonable.
I think it's
man.
unreasonable to go, dude. It's frozen still. They're on the deck in the
All right, how about
beds.
this?
There's
You tell 'em-
leaves
you
everywhere.
Tell them, gentlemen, I see you're here to do my leaves. It's snowing out. How about you come back in a week? What do you think's going to happen
Then
in
I
a
gotta
week,
go
Mike?
talk to them.
Mike, they're doing the best they can under the conditions. My God, nobody knows what's going to look like in a week, 2 weeks. This could
know.
be it. This shit could be sitting on our grass until March.
I know.
But God, you listen here. You listen here, God.
Listen.
I am raking my leaves.
I
all right?
deserve at
Do you hear
least-
me?
At least a week between leaf fall and snowfall to get this taken
But
care of.
there's no time. Leaves fall even into the winter. What do you like? There's no timing. Like, this is the last leaf. Okay, now.
So you haven't done yours yet. You're going to go out there with a rake?
Yeah, I am.
Yeah.
I don't have a service. I can't have guys come out and blow all my leaves. Yeah, it's going to be me and a rake.
Wow.
Me, Manny, and a rake.
Really?
Yeah.
Russell escapes this time?
Russell's got a shoulder thing.
Oh, yeah. Russell's always got a thing.
I know. Sucks. He had an MRI yesterday, actually.
Oh, no.
More bills. Oh, I
Is this
almost
a
said
new-
dental.
Is this a new shoulder thing?
You heard it over the summer.
Oh, boy. Oh, boy. Football or something? Or
It was volleyball.
Really?
Yeah,
Love
and then
volleyball.
Then he had some dumb CrossFit class at school, and they have some amazing gym classes at school. Have I mentioned this before?
CrossFit at school?
They have team sports, CrossFit, triathlon stuff. Yeah, dude,
Really?
it's really cool. It's
Man,
really cool.
Gym has
Bummer.
upped their game since we were
They
there.
really have.
It's not just
Wow,
a
good for them.
fat dude with the ball.
It's not just rolling out some deflated volleyballs and saying hit each other in the face with
Yeah.
these.
Dodgeball. Well, half the kids are terrified, huddled up. There's chicks
Yeah.
there huddled
Oh,
up against
dude.
the wall, just trying not to get beamed.
Listen, Farmington Harrison football has been in the news recently because they just lost their final game. Program's over.
Yeah.
But there's been a lot of exposés in the paper, and you're looking forward to the documentary. I
Yeah,
know.
absolutely.
But one person they keep mentioning is Coach Sutter.
Oh,
and
yeah.
how important Coach Sutter was to that. And dude, he was awesome.
He was.
That guy was intense as fuck.
Yeah.
He was the freshman basketball coach too. He was awesome.
Wasn't he the one that famousely broke a chalkboard with his head?
Yes.
What?
He lined up at the back. They drew a freaking bullseye on the blackboard.
The coach.
Fire up, Hawks, fire up! And
Let's
everybody's
go.
going crazy.
We're gonna go out there.
Yeah, yeah.
And he
He
ran.
freaking ran up and head first head-butted the blackboard and shattered it.
Now that's a
Broke it.
fucking coach. God
Yeah,
damn it.
well, this was his thing. So he ran a lot of the gym classes. Of
course
and
he
he legit would fucking pound girls in the face with volleyballs. I mean, at the time, the guy's probably like 43 years old,
Right,
in shape,
and he's throwing these things
Yeah.
90 miles an hour at freshman girls' faces.
Awesome.
What
He's
a
tricking
gig.
them. He's throwing one up in the air so they go to catch it,
And then
he's
wham!
That's a
nailing
great
them
trick. That's a good
intentionally
trick.
in the face.
Yeah, Jay is not kidding. This is one of those. It wasn't one of those gym teachers who would, they'd have those half bleachers in the gym. The guy would sit there with a whistle.
No.
Fat guy.
He got in there.
Everyone in. Game starts. Like he'd be on a team.
Bob Sutter, badass.
Dodgeball. This grown ass man.
I wish I had
football
video of that.
He was awesome. And then he'd call like other guys out of the weight room, like, "Hey, come on, join the game." Yeah.
Out of
And
the weight
these
room.
poor little freshman, sophomore girls are like huddled in the corner, and they're just killing them.
Can you imagine
Yeah, it's
today?
awesome.
Could you imagine today if that was going down?
Just incredible.
How'd we get
Good
on that?
stuff. I don't know. Where
Shoulder injuries and gym.
Oh, shoulder
yeah.
injuries and volleyball.
Yeah, so I'll be out there raking, dude.
Good for you.
It's gonna
Good for you.
happen.
I hope you do a better job than some jobs.
Oh, I got my spackling knife over here.
Yeah. I wanted to touch on something, Jay. We don't have to spend a tremendous amount of time on it, but it was something that was eating away at me all day yesterday, and it revolves around our extra content in the members area show, part of the show yesterday.
Hmm
So
I remember it well.
Yeah,
There's some
and
aspersions cast.
well, he has been really tuned in and kind of rabbit ears on this subject. He feels like his material is being stolen from him.
Lifted, hacked.
And yeah, he says something on the show that gets JPE, or usually is awarded to JPE. And then all of a sudden, shortly thereafter, he sees someone tweet about it or tweet and use his line. He's going, wait a minute.
Or very
That was
similar
my line.
to it. Very similar to it.
And then he sees people, commenting like, "Oh man, that was hilarious. Oh God, you
Yeah,
really are
yeah.
funny." And he's going, "No, it's me. That's
Yeah.
funny. That's my line." And he gets really sensitive about this. And
Chicago hooker story's not out there, is it?
no.
Nobody's pulling that shit.
But this is most comics will get very defensive about their material being stolen. So I don't blame E for that. But yesterday was disturbing because it was going back to the day before on the show, and he said he had a line. We were talking about celebrities and their homes burning and whatever, and E spit out the simple line, "Oh man, hope nothing happens to the celebrities, otherwise we won't know who to vote for." It went by without nary a response from us. You later declared you'd be willing to give him a JP.
Yeah, I
for
would.
that.
I would.
And so E, hours and hours later, is going through his Facebook and sees someone
I
use
wouldn't
that
say
same.
hours and hours later.
Well,
That's why hence the reason I thought there might be
some thievery.
some thievery. It wasn't like I saw it 3 days later and I was like, oh.
He saw, just to get everyone up to speed, he sees this joke, and so E is like, I think maybe it was stolen, and so I was like, hold on, let's go down, we'll talk to Jay. Jay's an impartial judge. He'll give his opinion on whether or not, and I think we both at the end ruled it's just kind of low-hanging
It
fruit.
was low-hanging enough fruit. It was an easy enough
Yeah.
joke that it absolutely
Here's
could
the
be
thing,
could
though.
be thought of by
I did
myriad
not-
people. And I
I
guarantee
didn't-
if you banged it, it would be all over the internet already. People
Okay, so
ripping
what?
on
A lot of good
celebrities.
jokes get thrown out.
Understood.
It was but here's
we
the thing.
don't-
Here's
we
the thing. No. Here's the thing.
Here we go.
Oh, boy.
Here's the thing, though.
Those are carrots and
I
potatoes,
did
folks.
not-
Get 'em in.
I did not proclaim that I made this amazing joke. I just said I said something, And then all of a sudden I see it from a person that looks to be, could be a listener, very similar in a time frame that is, if he had listened to the show, would fit. Like, I was listening to the show, now I'm going to put this out there.
All lines up.
And
doesn't
so
it?
it's not that I thought it was the most
The
amazing
evidence was
joke
damning
of-
against him. I'll agree.
It's not that I thought it was the most amazing joke of all time. I
know. No one's taking away the. Here's the
I
problem.
think you
that
are. I think that's the problem.
I was debating in my head. Would I, if that
It was a straight out of Stockton situation.
Yeah.
Where, you would have thought, like, do I even say this?
do I even
thought of
say
it.
this?
It's so low hanging.
And you said yesterday, and I appreciate your honesty. You said, you know what? Had that line hit my head,
I'd have
I
said
could
it.
see myself throwing it out there.
Yeah.
Why not? You throw it against the wall, see what sticks.
But I wouldn't have expected you guys to uproariously laugh.
Right.
It's just like, whatever.
And I'm being totally honest. I've gone through this for 24 hours now in my head over and over. And I'm like, I just don't think I would have said that line. I think it was so low hanging that I
think
wouldn't have
that's
said it.
shocking coming from the pun
Well,
master over here.
I'm just telling you
Yeah,
what
it
I
is sort of
honestly
low hanging
believe.
and douchey too, right? It
Yeah.
sort of goes into that douchey.
And had
where-
I said it, it would have been said like, I hope none of that was a
Yeah,
celeb."
that's
You know what I
it,
mean?
right?
Like,
You know,
sort of
we're not
snappy.
doing a show like a stand-up routine where I've written out material. Things just come to your
Jesus,
head.
I gave you the JPD
understand that.
because it was thought of in a quick fashion.
well,
For somebody to sit back and type that into a Facebook, that's lame, man.
yeah.
Whether it's stolen or not, it's low hanging and just douchey and lame.
So anyway, it turns out E couldn't let this go. It was eating at him, and so he confronted the gentleman and threw some prodding. The guy says, "Ha ha." You know, he says, "Well, I
he added something
added
to
to
the
your joke," because there was another line at the end. He goes, "Well, I added to it," basically admitting, "Okay, I stole your joke, but I added to it." And E, I thought, was very civil and calm. Said back to him, "Look, if people start commenting about how funny you are, blah blah blah, would you just do me a solid and say, co-credit for the joke deserves to Eric Fady?"
My God.
And I thought that was fair. That's fair. That's all you can ask. He
partial
didn't-
credit.
He didn't ask him to take it down. He didn't demand an apology. He didn't want him fired from his job.
What if people start commenting that joke is lame and douchey?
Well,
Same thing.
I'll take the partial credit on that too, I guess.
and that's where this story picks up because it was just killing me. I was like, I just don't think that's a steal. That joke is good enough to be steal worthy.
Mhm.
It was eating away at me. And finally I was like, you know what? I got to bring a professional into this. And so I texted J. Chris Newberg, who, if you need his credentials, is he professional enough? His album for 25 weeks now has been in the top 20 on the Billboard charts, spent 10
top
weeks at
10
number
even,
one.
I think.
Top 10, yeah. And number one in the country for
Several.
10 weeks.
Okay.
10 straight weeks. So he's possibly going to be up for a Grammy this year. So I felt like, okay, he's got enough credentials that I can ask him and just get his opinion. So here's what I wrote, Jay. Tell me if you have anything, and take any issue with the text I sent him. Okay, on the show yesterday, we were discussing the California fires. Big E said, hopefully all the celebrities are okay, otherwise we won't know who to vote for. Later, he saw a Facebook post by someone, evidence shows he listens to the show, that basically used the same joke. Big E is claiming his joke was stolen. Jay and I debated this and believe the joke falls into the low-hanging fruit category and that it's possible a lot of people had that thought and it wasn't necessarily stolen from Big E. Question for you is that joke powerful enough that it's steal-worthy, and is it, in your professional opinion, likely a stolen joke or just two idiots with a similar thought?
And hopefully, in response, J. Chris Newberg did not send you a self-destructing text.
He did not.
Good.
Yeah. And so
Sent you one that's sitting right there, and you can read it to us.
I will say his response was very, very prompt. I knew this would be a sensitive subject to any professional pro-period comic out there. Here's what he says. It's a joke that Jenna from 30 Rock said in season 1.
Okay.
Well,
And
I told you could Bing it.
I know he spit that back so fucking fast. Season 1, Jenna, 30 Rock, same joke. He says, it's super low-hanging fruit, and if someone stole it, they stole it from her character or the writer of that episode. I don't know how Eric writes, so I would never suggest that he took it from her or that the guy listening took it from Eric, because many people have similar thoughts. But ultimately, that phrase in one way or another has been said several times. And here's the rub. They could both have never heard it and think it's their original thought, and it would be to them, but it's not original. It's like me wanting to open a bowling alley called the Super Bowl. That idea is original to me, and I don't know if one exists, but I'm sure if I Google it, there are many. Also, Eric fucking thief.
Yes. There you
Wow.
go.
Yeah. So,
That was kind of our conclusion, right, Mike?
yeah,
That's
totally.
so
I felt
absurd.
justified.
It's so ridiculous that you have turned this into that. I thought this joke was so funny. I thought I said something that
No one
deserves
said
to be.
that.
No, but the idea that it's steal-worthy, and now it's to this point where something on 30 Rock from season 1, I want him to show me.
Do you
the
watch
audio.
30 Rock?
Are you
Did you watch
poo-pooing 30
I've,
Rocky?
I've seen 30. I actually like that show, but
Oh, you do.
From-
Evidence is mounting.
is
Is it subconscious? Is it possible in his subconscious?
Dude, there's so many that is the joke,
Yes,
right?
yes.
Celebrities tell us who to vote for. They
All
put their
I
nose
cared
into
about-
business that they shouldn't.
Yeah.
They're rich and out of touch. Like that's just a play that millions of people make every day
Yeah.
on Twitter, shows,
You know, in the
podcasts,
end,
whatever.
all this matters. All I was saying is, once again, very similar time frame. It looks like someone heard me say something, then is getting laughs for it from his other friends.
Was he
In the
getting
end, I
laughs?
was
That's the
right.
question.
In the end, I was right. Yeah,
Well,
I saw
look,
happy face reactions or
he's
whatever.
just- it goes without saying, Jay and I do not want to squash your creative development and have
That's
you
why
in any
I'm-
way hold back.
That's why I'm giving him a JP for it.
And
we're
I
moving
think
forward.
that's fair. I think it's fair, and I don't want you to hold back in any way. E, if you think something,
Say
no matter
something.
how unoriginal it may be, throw it against the wall. It's okay. It's
See
not
something,
a problem.
say something, Mike.
But
Yeah.
I felt relief last night. It was like, oh,
That is
that's how I
What
felt.
a bullshit. How bullshit of
Well,
you.
you know,
You felt relief for
Take it up
what?
with Jay Chris, man, not me.
I'm
He's a
taking no,
pro.
I'm taking it with you because your wording is bullshit anyway. You asked Jay, do you have any? What a shock! Do you have Jay? Do you have a problem with how I worded this text to Jay Chris Newberg?
No.
Of course he
Well,
doesn't.
Hey,
I have major
look.
issues with how you worded that text.
Well,
so
here's the rub. To Jay Chris's point, no, I know of all the people in the world I know, Jay is one who does not like you speaking for him. Don't put words in my mouth. Hey, speak for yourself. That's Jay's motto. I think he's got it
What
on
are
a
you
plaque
talking
at home.
about?
Jay doesn't like people speaking for him. So when I say Jay and I were discussing, and Jay thought, and I thought this, could have easily been a moment where Jay said, "Whoa, don't just throw me in there like you're quoting me."
Right.
And
I
so
was
that's why I want.
totally fine with Mike's text.
I hope you're okay with this, Jay.
Well,
Here's what I wrote.
wasn't
just wanted
okay
to
with how you
establish
worded that. I wasn't okay with how that text was worded.
Where was I wrong?
You'd have to read it again because I don't remember it, but
Oh,
doesn't matter.
Yeah, doesn't matter. And this is going to be a problem because, unfortunately, a grievance has found me, and I know that when assholes in a stew, he takes
Yeah.
it out on his ruling because he
No,
can't
I
he
do
can't
not.
separate
I am the most
the two.
impartial person in this room when it comes to rulings, by far.
Oh, well, I've been aggrieved,
You ready?
and well, I just want to, I mean, it goes without saying, like, I don't expect a lot of people to be aggrieved by
Then don't
this.
say
I
it.
don't know it's probably nothing.
Should we give new listeners
But-
the rules, the basic rules of
Please.
grievances?
Do the basic
All right.
rules include Mike's 1 minute? Can you ever pre-record a 1 minute?
Yeah,
uh,
sandbagging.
I'm not sandbagging. I'm just
Sandbaggery
saying,
occurs
look,
every time.
I don't know that many
Defensiveness.
people are going to like
Look,
this one. I
listen.
hope they do, but
Here's the bottom line. You're going to assert a grievance. You're going to hope that the rest of us find it bona fide. We have the chance to rule on it after
Yes.
your 30-second chance to grieve. And let's be clear. A grievance has found you.
Yeah.
You've not looked for this grievance. You've not
Oh.
gone out and sought a grievance.
No.
A grievance has found you.
Yeah.
Now, the remaining two members of TDC will render a ruling, and you're hoping for bona fide, but it also could be pussy or old man.
yeah, which is death. Oh,
God forbid you'd steal a grievance. I don't believe you'd do that, Mike.
I wouldn't.
Over
not,
there.
not
That
intentionally.
goes for you, sir.
I don't have them today, so
Okay.
All right.
So here you go. 30
at
seconds.
least I don't think I do.
Press conferences, publicly aired press conferences. Can we get a fucking hot mic in the goddamn room where people are asking the questions? I am sick. Into the fucking mic. I'm so sick and tired of watching press conferences. You just hear this. Yes. It was like, I have no fucking idea what that idiot just asked. Can you not get a microphone in there? Is that too much to ask for?
The alternative is you end up with a Jim Acosta situation.
Yeah.
People hogging the mic, they won't give it up.
Thought extensively about this, and I think I've got a solution. All we need to fix every shitty press conference, I don't care if it's you're watching your head tackle ball coach or the president or anyone else giving a murderer and the police are giving a statement. All you need is 2 interns and 2 microphones. And here's how this would play out.
We saw the Jim Acosta situation, Mike.
Well, here's the thing. So
Intern tried to grab the mic.
intern 1 and intern 2, they've each got a mic. And
You turn the one off.
no, yeah, well, yeah, they and their job is to go, okay, Bob Wojnarowski is going to ask the first question to Matt Patricia. And so you stand there, you got the mic for Wojo, and Wojo asks this question. Now, at that point, intern number 2, and this is key, is going to find the next journalist. Jamie Samuelson has raised his hand. Jamie's going to get to ask the next question. So she is now on guard, or he is standing by Jamie And now this is key too. And this is why you need 2 mics in the room. It's because you don't want to just take the mic as soon as Bob asks a question and then go over here. Because what if there's a follow-up?
There should be a follow-up. You should be allowed a follow-up.
A lot of times a follow-up is necessary. So she stands it with Bob. Bob says, I'm good. He answered that to my satisfaction. I do not have a follow-up. Now Jamie is on. And then this intern here doesn't need
Understood.
Do you understand what I'm saying?
I do, but when you open it up to interns, they are open to intimidation and bribery. Do you think they'll be? Do you think that the people in the audience will be able to ply these interns?
I don't
to
care.
Make sure that you don't care.
No, in fact, bribe them. I hope they can make a few bucks on the side. I just want to hear what the fucking question was. I'm tired because some guys are great. And they go, oh, yeah, you're asking about the play where the touchdown was
they
thrown
repeat
in
it for the
on the
audience.
side. Yeah, well, yeah, of course it was a good play, and
Yeah.
it really helped us out. We won because of it, whatever. But a lot of guys just go, no, we're going to go with the same game plan. Next.
Right.
And it's like,
I guess the point is, though, press conferences aren't really for televised audience at the
well,
end
then
of the
stop
day, right?
televising them.
It's I know. Like, what would I guess you're asking for press conferences to be blown up into something that they weren't meant to be, right? It's a conference where press meets with the subject and they get quotes
Yeah.
to put in to written pieces. Or
Yeah. That's true, and that's fair. I will grant you that. But
maybe
as a
say,
nation,
look,
we've decided that,
media has moved forward. We're not printing everything. We need a lot of audio.
yes.
Audio is more important to us, as is video.
And the fact is, you've decided at Fox 2 that this press conference discussion for a half hour with the coach is so important that it needs to air in full. And so once you've made that decision, I think you have a responsibility to your audience.
Is it possible that a lot of people making people available for press conferences really aren't interested in having that widely dispersed? In other words, the Detroit Lions, they know they just lost 3 in a row,
Yeah.
and they don't really want their guy overly scrutinized by media that's going to pick at them.
Yeah.
So why make it easy?
Well, it's a tough job. You know, you got to deal with that sometimes. I just don't think it's that much to ask for. It wouldn't cost that much.
Boy.
And then it's
All
just think about how mad we would get when E would go, well, that's not true. Into the mic, you son of a bitch. I mean, dude, we
Yeah, but we're on a
livid.
podcast. We're that's the purpose. We're all talking here.
Mhm.
I'm gonna say old man, Mike.
Oh
I'm
my
sorry.
God.
I'm gonna say old man.
This is unbelievable. I can't get a fair judgment in this fucking
I
room
think
to
you're-
save my
mine yet.
life.
I think you're requiring more than what a press conference is, and maybe it goes that way. Maybe everybody decides this is the way it goes, but I think you're asking too much.
Then is it too much to ask that we no longer televise these things?
You could always not watch it.
But I am. You put it on.
You
You
could
thought it
walk
was something I
away,
needed
you
to see.
You could go shovel leaves off your driveway that are
Nope.
apparently frozen there too.
They've made the decision that this is viewership worthy, more so than All My Children, as
Mhm.
the whatever.
Well, it still is, even if you can't hear the question. It's
Yeah.
still more viewership worthy than All My Children. General Hospital, no. All My Children, yes.
Why old man and not a pussy?
It just seems, I don't know. Like,
Because I feel like if you're gonna rule against me, pussy would have fit. More
I'll
than
go
old man.
pussy and old man. You talked me into pussy.
Shit, I
Easy.
didn't
What do
wanna
you got?
That.
Bona fide as fuck, man.
Thank you, Jesus. God damn it.
It's
Welcome back,
bona fide as
son.
fuck.
Welcome back, son.
BFAF.
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 I almost said bona fide AF, but then I thought I would be turning a joke I was trying to make my grievance about Mike about me. So I said bona fide as fuck in
Yeah.
the end. No, dude, I think it is bona fide as fuck. Dude, it's 2018. Just have goddamn mics so we can hear it if you're going to put it on TV. If you're not, then don't. But if you're going to be on TV, we should be able to hear the goddamn
Yes.
questions.
Thank you, Isis. Appreciate that. I don't know what Jay's fucking, stick up his ass against me today is, but whatever.
Oh, wow. Look how that goes.
Gentlemen, a grievance has found me.
Oh,
Isis, do you
wow.
have? I'm a visual learner. I know
Right.
you guys are too.
I'm gonna say pussy old man.
these are going to
I
speak
just-
for themselves. I know you're going to, Mike, because I know that you're a big promoter of these.
Yeah.
I want to set the scene though.
Okay.
These pictures
Are
that
you
you're
on the
gonna,
clock now,
No,
or are
I'm-
you setting
these
up?
pictures
When do you
you're
want me
about
to
to
pull them
view?
up?
The pictures you're about to view are on the side of Manny's car. Okay. Okay, I got a problem. I got a problem with Manny's friends drawing dicks all over his car in the mud. We have a lot of dirt roads around, and so he's constantly
God.
has some mud on his car, and they're constantly drawing dicks.
Please
and-
share that on the screen.
I'm trying-
Isis.
yeah.
And my
Yeah.
thing is, it's not only with the artist, but also with the driver and the passengers. Like, Manny doesn't care that dicks are all over his car. Russell, do you care? You're driving in this car with him. Is there no civility? Can we have no civility?
Look, listen.
That's like a 40-incher, right?
Yeah, it sure is. They got the
There's
King's
some
dog
small balls and a long dick.
there. Look. Would you have a problem if the car said like the traditional "wash me" instead?
That'd be lame, but no, I wouldn't have as much a problem. The problem is you're standing there like with your in-laws and stuff, and they're like, "Oh, so Manny, how's the car holding up? Is it doing okay?" And there's like a big dick on the side of it, you know?
Yeah. So what I'm looking
There's
at
a
here,
face.
pull
This one's
picture
given a
over.
facial.
Yeah. I wonder what's going on. Is this a cum shot here?
Yeah.
And then this is a dribble out the tip.
Yes.
And that's a
It's
tongue.
a facial, dude.
So that's some chick with her mouth open taking a load in it.
Yeah.
Boy, oh boy. I'm definitely not calling this bona fide at all or boner fide at all. I don't know what to rule. It's like
I know.
Can you put yourself in
OMAF, man.
Can you put yourself in
it is old man as
parent's-
fuck. It is.
Okay.
Because dude, you cannot tell me there wasn't a day at 15, 14 that you would not have finger drawn a dick into mud.
Of course there was.
Yeah.
But a grievance has found me, a 40-some-year-old father of 3 who is seen around town.
Yeah.
No,
I know.
With said car. And God forbid, I'm driving, to get gas or something.
Yeah.
And there I am with dicks all over my car. Mike.
I mean,
facial?
yeah, I know.
A rendition of a facial.
I know it
written in
bothers
mud on
you.
the side of my car.
Most people look at that and it gives them a warm feeling. They get a slight chuckle. Guy's driving around with a dick on his car. Yeah, should have washed your car, asshole. That's what they get. That's what they get. And you're trying to take that from them. The only problem I have is really with the artist.
Mm.
If you're going to draw a dick, like,
Gotta cut it, right?
hang the balls a little bit, please. No
Get a
balls.
vein. Where's the vein?
There's no vein. And balls do not sit like that.
No.
And there's no pubes anywhere. It's just amateur city, man.
Yeah.
Like, no vein. Honestly, you proud of that work, sir?
I know.
Are you proud of that?
It almost looks like it was done very, very quickly. Like,
Yeah.
oh my gosh, she's coming.
Yeah, and it's been there a while. Hold on, E.
Yeah, because that's a second bit of dirt that's covered it up, right?
Because when the artist initially made this, this was red as shit. Like he got all of that dirt off to make his masterpiece.
So that's why my grievance extends not only to the artist but the driver as well.
Yeah, I
The
think
driver left this for a week to 10 days.
look, this is society's way of saying, clean your fucking car, asshole. I mean, this is what you get when you refuse to clean your stuff. And it's like, we've seen this from the wash me years, and now we're into the dicks and coming in faces years. I mean, you knew it was going to happen. You knew that was coming. No pun intended.
So I get pussy old man from both of you.
You get old man as fuck on
Okay.
that one. I'm not going to declare you a pussy.
I don't think it's a pussy.
I'm not gonna invalidate your feelings. I mean,
Mm.
this found you. The feelings I believe are sincere and real in you, but it's old man as fuck. Wash
just
your car, Manfred.
I'm just supposed to be fine with driving around in a car with dicks all over. Okay. All
Look.
right. No, that's fine.
Why do
That's
you want to
fine.
involve the public? All you got to do is make one lap around your car with a hand, and
But dude, that's what I should have mentioned that. I do that like weekly. I go out there and like lick my hand and God damn it.
enough with the dick jar.
Yes.
But see, dude, this
Somebody
is the
could
problem.
set up a camera every Sunday morning in my garage,
Yeah.
and you would see me go, God damn it, and lick my hand and
Well, I'm
Here's-
sure they're not
here's
trying to
what's
get your
happening.
goat with that, by the
Oh,
way, at
the-
this point. I mean, if they
the
know
amount
that's
of
what's
goat
happening
getting right now is staggering, and the fact that you don't see it, Jay. What's going on here? You're the guy in his house in the window going,
Ugh.
"Get off the lawn! Get off the lawn!" And then
Yeah.
you wonder why that guy gets lawn jobbed.
Yeah.
You wonder why kids can't wait to walk on his lawn because he's so worked. It bothers him
Curmudgeon.
so much. Yeah, he's curmudgeon guy. He's old man as fuck. So when
So the
people go,
alternative is I just leave dicks all over my car.
wash your car. And just go buy one of those seasonal passes.
Well, I don't. I think
Go
the
as often
alternative
as you want.
is you
Mr.
can
C's on Lapeer.
you can still
There you go.
wipe them off. You just don't tell anybody about it. You just have to be quiet about it. See, if you're gonna
No.
be yelling like "God damn it,"
No,
then
if a
the
kid,
first thing I'm gonna do after.
tell your friends to stop drawing dicks on your car. That's what comes out of my mouth every Sunday
well,
morning.
see, that's goat getting now for sure.
yeah, you've been your goat has been got. And the fact is, when a kid walks by and sees the telltale, a hand has been licked
Yeah.
and wiped, he knows, got him. That dick bothered that guy so much he felt the need to filthy his own hand to fix my
Right.
work. And then you're going to get double
No, it's
dicked,
true.
and you deserve it.
I'm in a conundrum, I
Yeah.
admit. Hey, everybody. Steve Gabar, the hottest sales staff in Oakland County, are excited about Zott Ford's Black Friday Sign and Drive Zero Cash Due event going on now. Speaking of cars, lease a new 18 Ford Fusion as low as $121 a month, sign and drive zero cash due. Or lease a new 18 Ford Escape as low as $141 a month, sign and drive zero cash due.
Sign and drive zero cash due.
Sign and drive
Oh.
zero cash due. How about leasing a new 18 Ford Edge as low as $188 a month?
Sign and drive, zero cash due. Right? Am I right?
You're right. Finally, lease a new 18 Ford F-150 Super Crew 4x4 as low as $212 a month.
Sign and drive, zero cash due.
Well done, gentlemen.
Very good. What were we talking about upstairs, Jay? I wanted to mention it down here.
Your leaves, you're bitching about your leaves. and
No,
having
we
to
were talking
scrape 'em.
about radio voices.
Oh yeah. Dude wrote in and reminded me of this. He goes something about maybe pulling a drop of Marissa's.
Oh, Halloween PSAs.
Yeah, and the guy, he was like, oh man, that dude was creepy.
That's right, mommy.
Oh, mommy, the ghouls and goblins. No, he goes, hey, what's up, fags? Jay, is it me or does the guy in Marissa's commercial who says mommy very creepily
Mommy.
sound exactly like the Price is Right guy who would announce surprises in the 80s and 90s? Yeah, Rod Roddy.
Yeah.
Rod Roddy, was it?
Rod Roddy.
I fucking love
Yeah.
that dude. I know
Come
that.
on down.
Right,
You're the next
that's-
contestant
that-
on the
that's good shit.
Price is
When you
Right.
guys talk about like a sick day and that meeting that you got to watch The Price is Right, he was there as much as Bob Barker. Like they were both intertwined with
Yes,
what
he
those
is.
memories are.
Coat? Did he wear the?
He wore a sport
Wacky
coat and it was
red.
always like it was either bright color and garish or it was even sequined.
Yeah, sequin. That's what I remember.
Kind of like
red
Doc
sequin.
Severin kind of deal, you know?
Yeah,
just shit like that.
yeah. And so that your ghosts and goblins. Ugh,
mommy.
God.
Yeah, it's brutal, man.
Yeah, it's funny. It's like, oh yeah, that guy just been told 1,000 times. Oh, you got a voice for radio, which is still said today. You know, people will listen to earlier last week or something. Someone was like, oh, Troy, you really T-Roy's got a voice for radio. I'm like, thank God
Well,
we've moved past this.
Some voices are off-putting. Looking over your shoulder,
Yeah.
right?
I've been told I have a good voice for radio.
They
so-
said face for radio.
No, I've been told voice several times
By who?
by
And how much did it
random
cost?
people that didn't even know what the show was.
People with the last name Fady.
No, people that didn't even know I was at maybe like a party or something, and someone was like talking to somebody, and they're like, finally, was like, what do you do? And I was like, I work on this podcast, and they're like, I've had people in that moment then say, you know what, you got a good voice for radio. I can see
No,
that.
the only person who's ever said
Nope.
that is the admission
I've had- I
was
officer
just gonna
at
say-
Specs.
I've had more than 10.
The lady taking your
That has
check
no-
that you
no.
were handing the check
the
to.
registrar.
I've had more than 10 people.
You've
Now
got
to
a
be
voice
fair,
for radio.
now to be fair,
You're gonna
I
be
think it's
great.
bullshit. And I've told those people, and I remember even when I was an intern, I had people say, you know, you're good, you sound good on there. And my response to them always,
Thanks, Dad.
no, my response to them always was, I just think people, if you hear someone, then they just assume, oh yeah, he's on there, he must be okay, and then they're wanting to say something, so they say that. So I never took it seriously by any means.
You would agree that some voices are off-putting, E?
I don't get into it like you do. I mean, I'm not saying that everything's perfect, but
So-
it just doesn't bother me. Like when you bring up 97.1 guys, sometimes it just doesn't get to
Oh,
me.
yeah, there's a guy.
So I mean, I
Calling-
suppose
you're
that there
calling out
are.
fucking station numbers. Wow.
Wow, E. Here we are
It's
locally.
on.
These are our brethren.
Wow. Yeah.
No, dude. So I kind of, my point is, I kind of think there is a thing like a radio voice.
I mean, I do
Yeah,
agree. I
radio.
think
Well, we
that's
all
back
know
in the
face for
day.
radio for sure.
Sure.
Back in
But
the day.
we all know that. It's like, oh, what that means. Oh, you got a radio voice, and it used to be like you couldn't. Sunday at the Pontiac Silverdome. You know that.
It was
dude.
that or the guy from WCAR with Marisa.
Yeah, I mean-
yeah. Oh, yeah.
everybody.
Well, Arthur P was. I mean, I know he wasn't like that, but he had. I mean, that's a voice to me that would.
Oh, hell yeah.
That just yeah.
And it's legit. I remember we had a voice guy, the guy that did our production on commercials like that. It was like to watch that dude just this Sunday. David Lee was his name. Huge Packers fan. I don't know where David is now, but dude was a rock star.
Did he like turn it on and off though? Was he off mic just like, hey there, Mike, how are you?
It wasn't that
That is a
kind
good
of
question.
roller coastery voice this weekend coming up.
Yeah.
But it was. He just had those pipes, those booming pipes.
But when he talked to you in a normal conversation, if it wasn't...
he didn't go like, "Hey, what are you doing this Sunday?" No.
Are you headed to the Pontiac Silverdome?
No. Gonna watch the big tackle ball game at the Silverdome. No, he didn't do that. And he was a nice guy. I don't know where he is, but I'm glad those things are gone. It's how stupid is that? It's like, yeah, I kind of got a pipsqueak voice, but my opinion matters too. I got lots to say.
Yeah.
I want to talk. No, you don't sound like me. 80 rock and roll over degrees out.
84 rock and roll degrees out.
ZZ Top on the roof.
Can you please do my favorite if you're gonna do Arthur P?
Tinfoil.
No, the nuts.
I was at a party over the weekend. This girl stuck a hand out my pants and this is getting crazy. I said, dig a little deeper, you'll get nuts. Dude, I'm driving down the road.
You'll get nuts.
You get nuts. To ramp it up over a ZZ Top song. Oh, God.
You mentioned tackle ball a moment ago, Mike.
I did, of course.
College and pro tackle ball. It's heating up. Stop by the Hammond Pub to watch your favorite team on one of their numerous TVs and enjoy sports specials like the $7 medium hand-tossed pizzas, boneless wings, or the Nacho Supreme. Of course, these specials are good at all 5 Hammond Pub's locations, those being Clarkston, Chesterfield, Rochester, and the 2 in Shelby Township.
Dude, I must admit, I laughed pretty hard when I saw Michael Avenatti, Stormy Daniels' lawyer, being arrested for assaulting a woman.
Boy, his presidential hopes, are they going down the drain?
Uh-oh.
Although, dude,
People
you know,
are
he
failing.
had both his ex-wives step forward and go, this guy's a great guy. Never laid a hand on me.
Yeah.
He is a super good guy.
Sure.
And that's
Sure.
doesn't that say something at least when
But
you're
your ex-wives,
right?
Dude,
Absolutely.
ex-wives have nothing to gain by talking up the...
I agree totally with what you guys are saying. You're right. Ex-wives, by nature, you would think that's an easily, more times than not, a situation where people are spiteful and fucking hate that dude or girl now. You know,
especially like in short order they did it. There wasn't like this long period of negotiation of a week where you know, you could be like, oh, come on, baby, come on, help me out. You know, you're the mother of my children. Just come out and say something. No, it happened like right after.
Well, it was an unnamed woman who filed a complaint, and they won't announce who the woman is, obviously, because it's a domestic violence situation. So they don't want to, deter other women for coming forward for fear that they're going to be outed and then scrutinized publicly. So that's just the way those things are done. So we don't know the name of the woman, but the speculation early on was that it was one of his ex-wives.
Now I got you.
Her name was thrown out there.
Yeah,
and
because he's estranged from someone. He's divorced from one, estranged from another.
Right. And so people were like, oh, yeah, his ex so-and-so with a picture had a black eye or swollen face. It was her. And so that's why she was like, whoa, I haven't seen him in months. But what I do know is he would never lay hands on a woman. And you know what? While you may absolutely believe that, he may never lay hands on a woman, but just because he didn't lay hands on you doesn't mean necessarily that it's
doesn't
impossible.
win the day, but it's pretty
helps.
good. It definitely helps. It's helpful to have that come out right after you're accused of this and have 2 ex-wives go, no, this guy's a good guy.
Well, the problem I have is that, and why it's so ironic is this is the guy that was, all women must be believed, and Kavanaugh's career should be fucking ruined, and I'm bringing people forward to blah, 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 blah. And it's like, wants the
shoes on the other foot.
And it's like, okay, well, I don't believe in that then, and I don't believe in it now. I don't believe that you just destroy someone's career for an old allegation. And I don't believe that necessarily all women are telling the truth all the time. That's absurd. But you were the one without any hesitation were willing to destroy Judge Kavanaugh. That's the fact. And you weren't willing to hear his side of things. And if you did listen to it, you didn't believe a word of it. And you've been on this campaign to fucking destroy him and Trump and everybody else because all women need to be believed. And now it happens to you. And it's like, I just want my day in court to clear my name and blah, blah, blah. It's like, yeah, that's what these people would want too.
He is in a bit of a pickle, isn't he?
Yeah. I have never struck a woman. I never will strike a woman. I have been an advocate for women's rights my entire career. I will continue to be an advocate. I'm not going to be intimidated from stopping what I'm doing. I'm a father to 2 beautiful, smart daughters. I would never disrespect them by touching a woman inappropriately or striking a woman. I look forward to a full investigation, at which point I'm confident I will be fully exonerated. I also want to thank everyone for their support that's reached out, blah, 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 blah.
Signed, creepy porn lawyer.
Creepy porn lawyer, yeah. So anyway, the woman, who's, again, unnamed, was seen Wednesday running out of this apartment in Los Angeles where this happened. and screaming into her cell phone while wearing sunglasses to conceal the bruises on her face. I can't believe you did this to me, she yelled on the phone. Security then led the woman back into the building. 5 minutes later, Avenatti shows up, runs into the building chasing after her and screaming, "She hit me first!" This is bullshit. This is fucking bullshit. That's what he was screaming. Investigators said Avenatti kicked the woman out of his apartment on Tuesday, which was when the alleged incident took place. She then returned to the apartment on Wednesday to retrieve her things, asked police to wait nearby in case things escalated. He posted another tweet on Wednesday last night saying, "I want to be clear. I did not commit domestic violence, nor have I ever committed it. I'm a decent man. I look forward to being exonerated." Initial reports indicated the woman in question was Lisa Story. That's the one that you mentioned that was, I think, his first, or that's his estranged wife. Filed from divorce from her last year. So
Lisa Story hyphen Avenatti.
Yeah. Well, and her, so you file your papers like why, and there are myriad reasons as to why you are filing for this divorce or whatever. She described her estranged husband in those court papers as emotionally abusive, hot-tempered, and angry and vindictive. So I don't know if that's common lawyer speak for, anytime a divorce is filed and irreconcilable differences, he's angry and hot-tempered. I don't know what that means necessarily, because she's the first one that came out going, he would never touch a woman.
Mm-hmm.
So whatever. So he's denied everything, and he says that these accusations are fabricated and meant to do harm to my reputation. Boy, oh boy.
Where have I
was
heard
that
that
said
before?
by Kavanaugh? Did Judge Kavanaugh say that, or was this
Right.
Avenatti that says that? That these accusations are fabricated and meant to destroy and harm my reputation.
Please don't derail this guy's presidential bid. That would be so much fun.
I know.
Him and Hillary going back and forth in the debates.
But it's not looking good, Jay. I'll tell you that the early evidence is in, and because that's what I'm thinking too. Like, we need this guy in the running, and wish him the best of luck. But the Vermont Democratic Party canceled events planned for Friday and Saturday where he was scheduled to speak, and is refunding ticket sales.
Oh, Michael.
That's a bad. I'm not saying it's the end of it, but that's a red flag, right? Red flag number 2, Alyssa Milano.
Oh no.
She's appeared at anti-Trump rallies with him.
Ridiculous.
She tweeted out, "Totally disgusting." And before anyone asked me, yes, I'm disavowing Avenatti. I do not care what side he's on. Hashtag pasta.
She doesn't even know what happened.
I know.
Doesn't matter. Totally disgusting. I disavow. Okay.
He's been accused of something.
Yeah.
Incredible, man.
Yeah, she doesn't even know what happened. You're right. And then she's
Just hilarious. It's just hilarious. Did you see the big news yesterday? People were like, has the world flipped over? What's going on here? I don't know what's going on. Because a lot of media outlets have stood up behind Jim Acosta and CNN, including Fox News.
I know.
Wow. What? People are like, this is insane. They're siding with CNN. People can see through what's going on here, right?
I would hope.
I mean, I don't know that they can, based on what I was reading online and Twitter and all this kind of stuff. But so a dozen media news outlets, from the Associated Press, USA Today, they, think of it, most of them are jumping on board, including the Washington Post, Politico, Fox News, and are filing friend of the court briefs to support CNN and Jim Acosta's lawsuit against Trump and several top aides. Do you know what that
Friend
means?
of the court,
Friend of the court brief?
You're not a actual litigant or party in the case, but you have sort of an interest broadly.
Okay.
And you also might have a perspective that the court would want like to hear from. So you file an amicus brief, it's called. And you and so the court, it's not binding on anything, but it's just, it's like if the court goes, you know what, let's hear from others in this situation. What do they have to say as well?
So it's basically them going, just for the record, here's how we feel.
Yeah.
We've got it, and we've all signed this, and this is how we believe. So obviously, when it's CNN and you watch them battle Fox, that's why that's the most notable name in the story, because they seem to hate the shit out of
Standing
each
together
other.
for the First Amendment, Mike.
Sure. They actually went pretty far, further than most in their statement that said secret passes for working White House journalists should never be weaponized. That was from Jay Wallace, president of Fox News. Fox News supports CNN in its legal effort to regain its White House reporters' press credentials. We intend to file an amicus brief. There you go. That's what you mentioned. With the U.S. District Court. While we don't condone a growing antagonistic tone by both the president and the press at recent media avails, we do support a free press, access, open exchanges for the American people. And then it goes into, the guy from the CEO of the Post, Fred Ryan. We support CNN in its effort to get their White House reporter back there. It's a journalistic's role to ask hard questions, hold the powerful to account, provide readers with as much information as possible. And that all sounds good, but my thought is, Fox News, you don't want precedent set where a journalist is asked to leave for any reason that, whether it's Obama going, you in my house now, or Jim Acosta, whatever, because this president won't always be president. Someone else will.
Yeah, bad facts make bad law.
Exactly.
So you have this weird set of facts, and then someone in the future looks back at that as precedent. It's like, well, we got to follow this rule now.
Which is what they're doing. People are bringing up, well, in this case of Obama, you in my house now, trying to throw Fox News reporters out. So neither of them want that, but I think it's even more cynical than that. And tell me if you buy what I'm saying, because we talk about, like every day it's like, tonight on an all new episode of The News, and that's what it is. You're watching, as you have always said, Jay, a television show. This is not the news. You're watching a TV show. Half of Fox News's coverage is talking about what CNN is saying and doing. They're not reporting news to you. They're bitching about what this other channel is doing, and they've got clips of each other.
Propaganda on both sides.
Yeah. Tonight on an all-new episode of CNN's The News, Don Lemon goes off about President Trump and Tucker Carlson. Starring Tucker Carlson, starring Don Lemon. It's the same ones. And so my thought is, for Fox News, there is no better thing for them than Jim Acosta. If Jim Acosta is acting the fool in the White House press room, they've got wall-to-wall coverage that night on the news.
It's content, man.
It's totally content. So for CNN or Fox to be like, oh, yeah, we don't want anyone throwing. Of course you don't. What better story is there than Jim Acosta to Fox News?
Keep the controversy. It's something to.
It's what I've always said, and it's not that revolutionary, but like about the Republicans and the Democrats. Like they all fight, quote unquote, in this, but in reality, they all hate Trump. And the reason being is because they need the fucking machine to keep punching, the career politician to keep going. And
look, man, you can boil this down to the sheepdog and Wile E. Coyote.
Yeah. Right.
They both punch the clock and they leave hand in hand.
Hi, Frank.
See you tomorrow.
Exactly.
See you tomorrow, Frank. No, it's totally true. And so
symbiotic relationship.
Don't look at this as, Fox News standing by a fellow media brethren, because the fact is he does not have a constitution. His First Amendment rights are not being violated by not being in there. You act like an obnoxious dick. And, we know the rules in there. There's 100 press people in that White House press room, and only a handful of them get called on. You get 2 questions. If you look back at Acosta and Trump's exchange, he asked 2 questions. Trump answered both of them. We don't debate this now. Your job is to report on what his answers were. And so that's
what he wanted to do.
The
he wanted
grounds.
to debate, rabble rouse, get a great soundbite. He wanted to do probably this is like the best case for Jim Acosta.
Oh, this is. And Fox News coming out and supporting it. It's being reported on all the networks. That Fox News is supporting
something to talk about.
So Jim Acosta once again gets his name in headlights, or in is a starring role of TV all over the country for this obnoxious behavior. We're rewarding it. He turns it into a circus. He acts like a dick. He's just a button pusher, rabble rouser, not a journalist. He's a pundit. And so, they can say what they want. Oh, God save the people. He's reporting for the people. This president. It's like, no, dude, there's no more transparent president in the history of fucking presidents. This guy answers every question asked to him.
He responds
yours,
personally
Jim.
to people's tweets sometimes. I mean, if you're saying the right thing at the right time, the president might respond to your tweet.
Every tweet you issue, you should go at real Donald Trump.
That's a great point. No matter what it's about, and just hopefully for some reason one time.
Covering the White House, these reporters must remain free to ask questions. It is imperative that independent journalists have access to the president and his activities, and that journalists are not barred for arbitrary reasons. Fine. Whatever. Keep him there. Give him his credentials back. It'll be great. I haven't seen Acosta on the news, being a dick face to the president in days. I miss it.
We need him back.
Tucker Carlson's going out of his mind.
Hey everybody, does your money work as hard as you do? You will spend upwards of 45 years working to support your lifestyle, provide for your family, set aside money for retirement. Well, let Mark Leibovitz at LPL Financial help to make sure your money's working as hard as you are. Call today. Tell him you're a friend of the show for a no-cost, no-obligation consultation. That's 248-626-2000. Ask for Mark at LPL Financial.
Securities and advisory services offered through LPL Financial, a registered investment advisor. Member FINRA SIPC.
Jay, just off the top of my head, I'm thinking, I'm wondering what you think of mandatory minimums and maximums when ruling. No, I'm being serious.
Okay.
When talking about sentencing guidelines, is that?
Oh shit! I thought you were going somewhere else with that.
No.
I feel generally about it.
Yeah, just in general. Like, do you wish judges had more authority to rule on cases where, yeah, I see what was going on here, and this guy's kind of getting jobbed.
They usually have pretty large range of discretion there. You know,
Do they?
but you do need some regularity. You know, you need some.
And is that just meant for the kid in Tennessee gets 20 years and the kid here gets 3 days to prevent that for the same crime? Is that...
Yeah, I mean, sure. That's a good example.
Anyway, it was interesting yesterday to see the bipartisanship going on as the president and was it the First Step program?
Yeah, I haven't seen much reporting on that, strangely enough.
Yeah, I've seen a little bit. So it's about crime and reducing crime. And I think most people agree, like, it's just doesn't look good to have the most incarcerated people on the planet, and the rules don't always seem fair, you know, and the non-violent drug offenders that can get thrown away for life for shit doesn't feel right. And
part of the marijuana legalization has that in mind, right? Like, why are we chasing down all these people who are just smoking weed?
Yeah.
You know, or
right. Is it the cops can't do other shit?
Yeah,
right.
Selling small amounts of weed, and now they're in the justice system. Like, is this
Yeah.
really worth our time when it really is the equivalent of alcohol? Is the argument, right?
And you know, people, there's a lot of people that just believe, okay, this is a way to fund a lot of things. It's very expensive, and you need more people incarcerated, and people don't really get a chance at redemption. And everybody agrees. Lawyers, judges will all tell you, you go to prison, you do not get better in prison. You come out a worse fucking person than you were. It's very destructive for people. And so anyways.
That's why Mike always objects to a maggot and any sort of food. Any story we have, and we get them every 6 months or so.
Well, maybe if we treated them better, they wouldn't come out so bad.
Some rotten food. Everybody knows what prison the American judicial system involves, and everybody knows what the prison system
doesn't make it right.
This is goat getting right now.
Yeah, you're attacking goats.
I'm not gonna go down that goat.
And I don't like it.
What's the well-known joke about prison? Don't drop the soap.
Doesn't mean it's okay.
Yeah, I didn't say. Hey, easy.
Oh, so you're condoning rape.
Look, everybody knows.
Rape, then.
Not gonna get goats here.
It helps. It helps you. It's part of the deterrent factor, right?
Look,
everybody knows. Everybody knows.
I would have zero problem with your argument if the judge went, "You, my friend, are a piece of shit, and I sentence you to 20 years in jail, maggots in your food, and an occasional ass raping."
No, you don't even have to get that specific. You just say sentenced to 20 years in an American penal system, and everybody knows
code word penal. I know.
It doesn't mean it's okay, and it doesn't mean it's right.
It's like, oh, okay, so I've been sentenced for my crime. I can't go out on the playground anymore. I got to go sit in this box. It's like, that's what I was sentenced to sit in this box.
Plus a TV. Dude, they're treated so well.
Oh,
they're treated so well.
Oh, wow. I got to sit in a box and eat worms. Cool. That wasn't part of the deal. Oh,
now I'm getting a worm every now
raped.
and then. Yeah, Mike has this vision of everybody who's incarcerated, like, sold acid on a piece of cardboard instead of a piece of loose leaf paper.
And now here I am sucking dicks.
They weighed the cardboard too.
I was traded for a pack of cigarettes and now I'm sucking dicks.
Hey, everybody knows deterrent.
It is a deterrent.
That's the cliche, right?
Yeah.
Hey, before I get involved in some big organized crime group, I'm gonna think about that. I'm gonna go, fuck, man.
It is the first thing.
Penal system, getting butt raped and eating maggots.
Isn't that so true? It's
yes.
Like, you don't ever go like, oh, man, god damn it, sitting at a 6x9 is gonna suck.
Yeah.
It's like, no, fuck.
Right.
My butt's gonna hurt.
I'm gonna get beat up and butt raped.
Yep. No one's gonna like me.
It's all part of the game, man.
Yeah, they say, like, don't try to make friends, don't try to be funny. It's like, oh,
and
man.
Isis, I would agree with you if this was some sort of surprise, that this wasn't publicly known. It's known.
Okay, well,
it's part of the culture.
It doesn't make
everybody knows.
Okay, well, it's known that sex sells. Is that okay? It's known that sex is on magazines. Why is it okay? It's known that sex is going to be on magazines.
You're not making a proper.
Yes, I am.
No, you're not. This is known going into it before you do the crime. If you can't do the time and you know what the time means.
That's not the time.
The time
means the time.
The time should be on the thing.
It doesn't say Don't do the crime if you can't do the time.
If we want to make them, if we want to change the laws and have
Everybody knows what it means. Hey, E,
Doesn't
where
mean
is
it's
it?
okay.
Where is it expressed exactly how your daily life goes in prison?
doesn't matter. That's not
It's expressed in our culture, our society.
no.
Yes.
It's
We know fables. We know.
No,
That's
we
not-
know. We know how
that's
it's
not how
supposed to go. It's supposed to
passed
be like
down from generation to generation.
8 o'clock. We
Look,
wakes
I'm not
up.
gonna
They
do
open
this.
the
It
doors.
doesn't-
We all
this isn't
stand
worth it.
there.
I don't care.
And then we walk in a line out to the yard. We get our exercise.
And then you get beat up and raped.
No, that's not part of it. And then we all round up. We get in line again, and
Hey,
then
and
they
if
open
it
the
doesn't,
doors.
and if it doesn't happen, you're pleasantly surprised, right?
We go in. We get our tray with food. Nothing with maggots, please. We eat our food.
Maybe if we changed how we treated things in a society, then society would make a change in how society is acted. I mean, you got to make.
Well, E, as you well know, Jay and I believe the children are our future,
Teach them well,
and let
them lead the way.
No, show them all the beauty they
They
possess
possess
inside.
inside.
My God, I
Give
shouldn't
them
have
a
not done
sense of
anything
pride.
into this.
Make it easier. Because the greatest love of all side of me.
Who is that actually
I
by?
decided long ago never to walk in anyone's shadows.
Whitney Houston.
If
Okay.
I fail, if I succeed, at least I live that I believe. No matter what they take from me, you can't take away my dignity. Why? Because the greatest love of all inside of me. You started this, E. Don't.
I do.
Yeah.
I will
You went
take the
deep.
blame.
You drilled
Yeah.
deep.
I
there,
will
E,
take
and-
blame
Maybe
for
if
that.
society as a whole
or
changes, we
our
can.
culture to
We
the
are
better.
the world.
I take full responsibility for what just happened. I agree with that.
Anyway, so Trump signs this thing, and it's just cool. I mean, honestly, for me, I go.
What did he actually
this
sign?
is
We never.
good.
You didn't really just.
It's the he threw his support behind this new bill to reform how criminals are penalized. So he said it would reduce crime while giving our fellow citizens a chance at redemption. We're all better off when former inmates can receive and re-enter society as law-abiding, productive citizens. Thanks to our booming economy, they now have a chance at more opportunities than they've ever had before.
MAGA.
The first. It's the First Step Act and the first major rewrite of the nation's criminal justice sentencing laws in a generation. It'll boost rehab efforts for federal prisons and give judges more discretion when sentencing nonviolent drug offenders, particularly for drug offenses. The bill lowers the mandatory minimum sentence for nonviolent repeat offenders, drug offenders, from 25 to 20 years, and some other minimums 20 to 15, which some people are like, yeah, that's not enough. It doesn't lower it enough. You know, like you got to give judges more leeway if this kid's done whatever. And and there's always that story.
It's
you can point
cardboard.
to.
It's acid on cardboard.
I heard one judge talking about how a kid, as a joke, sold a bag of powder, fake bag of powder, to an undercover cop who thought he was buying cocaine. And it was a joke, and so he got before the judge, and he was like,
was a
"Okay,
joke.
and we're gonna give him, fucking mandatory or minimum 5 years in prison for this kid." And the judge was like, "Give him a fucking year's probation, $50, get him out of here." And then that was appealed, and he's back in court and all this money, and he's like, so judges.
What was a joke? Who is he sell? Like,
Dude,
well,
I was just
I
thinking
don't
that.
know.
How
That's
does
a-
that joke
It'd be
go?
one thing if it's like in high school.
It was just the
maybe,
example
like,
I saw the
understand.
judge give this morning, and it was like, yeah, I don't want that shit tied up in the court system, spending a lot of money, and then throw that kid in prison for 5 years. Come on, man.
It just, I know what you're saying, that it was just an example, but it does seem like that's a weird example only because, like, if he's out on the street, it'd be one thing if they, like the school cop caught him and like, oh, this kid was, saying he was selling coke, but like, where is he in a situation that an undercover cop is to the point where he's?
No, I know, and I don't know all the details, but it was just a small example he gave, and a lot of people are like, it doesn't go far enough. It doesn't go far enough on given the discretion of the judges. But if you remember Obama's White House, that was the mistake they made, trying to do too much too fast and unravel too much of this shit, and people were like, no, whoa. And so, that's why a lot of people on the left are praising the president for getting something done. And this all goes back to, what was it, 94, Bill Clinton's thing with mandatory minimums.
Yeah.
And it really, it was.
Hillary wasn't able to get out from under that during the recent election.
Yeah.
She was hit pretty hard on that.
And she honestly deserved to be, because she's acting like a champion for all these rights and things now. But it was those policies that really turned the screws and put a lot of African American people in jail.
Let me ask you this, Mike.
Yeah.
Cut it to the chase. Would a neo-Nazi racist president do what he just did?
Well, one just did. I mean, obviously, he hates black people, and
Isn't that incredible?
Jews.
So, that's one of the reasons you're not going to see this super widely reported because
Right.
it doesn't fit the narrative, right?
Give credit to him.
Yeah.
You know, it just doesn't work. But the who was it? Van Jones tweeted out, and I respected him for this.
Well,
you know?
Van has been working on this with him, right?
I think Van Jones and most
Jared.
people know who Van is, right? Though, what do you say?
I think him and Jared were
Jared
like
Kushner.
the two kind of spearheading this.
What we saw tonight was a white lash.
Right.
You know, not a backlash, a white lash. He's the guy. But, you know, I like Van Jones. Up until it became just like, oh, no matter what comes out of this guy's mouth, it's fucking evil and wrong and sinister and trying to destroy the world. That's where it's just like, okay, I'm checking out. He's a smart guy. You know, I don't agree with him on a lot of things, but I'll give him credit. He tweeted, give this man his due. Donald Trump is on his way to becoming the uniter-in-chief on an issue that has divided America for generations. Congrats to everyone on both sides who fought for this. More importantly, dozens of groups representing formerly incarcerated people also support the bill. Ditto many law enforcement groups. People finally coming together to do the right thing. Character test for us progressives. How many will give real Donald Trump any credit? I will.
See, that's great from a guy who was inside the process of that. That's
Right.
not just like Kanye tweeting that, right? And you go,
Right.
fucking Kanye, what the fuck do you know?
Yeah.
That's a guy, an African-American dude who knows what he's talking about, who was inside that process saying,
Yeah.
give everybody some due here who worked on this.
Well, the cool thing is, and it's 2 years too late, unfortunately, but had any of these people been listening to the Detroit cast, you would have heard Jay say all along, this dude, he's
Pliable as fuck. Be a Trump whisperer.
Dude, go in there and get shit done because this guy is not some staunch Republican who's married to some fucking philosophies and thoughts and beliefs. No.
He wants to look back at the end of his tenure at a big stack of things that he got done. Look, I signed more than anyone else.
Yes.
This whole pile of letters I signed.
All this shit was broken, and then I came in and did this stack of stuff all on my
I
watch.
took this many from the out and put it in or whatever and put it to the out. I'm trying to think
Well
about it.
put.
Yeah.
I think we
Oh,
all
you
know where
had
you're
it.
going.
You had it.
Yeah. You want to
Try
try
it.
again?
No, I'm good.
No, go ahead. You got this. Maybe somebody can steal this one.
Took them from
If you say it just right, it might be
the
stealable.
in to the out?
Oh,
Or is
hold
it the
on.
out to the
I mean,
in? Now
let's help him out here. I mean, this guy's pliable as fuck.
Pliable
right,
as
Jay?
fuck,
he's
man.
He's looking to get shit done. He wants. At the
You're
end of the
putting
day-
stuff on the president's desk.
It's a big stack.
Like, this is like going from in to the out box? Or
Think it through.
I don't.
What would you want to do if you were getting stuff done?
Yeah.
You'd want to take it from what box and put it in the other box? Which box? E?
The to-do box.
What would it be? Would it be the in or
Is
the
it
out?
the
Would it be the
in
out or
versus
the in?
out?
Shit, this is hard to
I
figure
don't know because
out.
if
It's
if
not
they're
the in and
coming
out, right?
in,
It's the
does that
do and-
mean they're to be done yet?
Yeah, I think it does.
I
Think it through.
think
E.
that if I were to say it, I would say you took them from the in and put them into the out.
All righty. Yeah, there you go. Oh, hilarious. Good work.
Oh, wow.
JPE. Ding. Yeah.
Mark it
Got
down.
it.
Mark it down. And so that's we've seen that all along. And it's like if you guys could stop squabbling for 2 seconds about what a racist, Nazi-loving, white supremacist this guy
Get part of your
supremacist-
agenda done.
Dude, this guy can do the fucking road stuff that you want. You guys are all about infrastructure. He'll work with you on that. He's with you on the DACA kids. He's willing to do shit there. He's willing to do prison reform. Are you kidding me?
I just want a big stack of shit.
stack.
I can point to and say I did that.
This was all in the inbox. It's now in the outbox.
Well put, Mike.
Thank you.
Well done.
Thank you. Yeah. That's all he wants. It's a big giant gold star for how many things they did.
But until then, sad.
Sad. People won't work with us. Sad. Anyway, let's take a quick time out because, dude, you ready to get your learn on?
Oh, it's History Day, but I have a little bit of a warning before we go there, E. Okay, we have a listener who's written in who's basically telling E he better fucking bring it today. Okay?
Oh, wow. Why?
He's sick of these fall too short history lessons that he's been receiving of late.
Well, okay.
Oh, no.
All right. I think that's fair. That's a
Didn't even read the letter, but it's fair.
Well, I like his initial setup, the subject. So we'll get to that more next.
Detroitcast continues after this short break. continues now, bitches. Here are Mike and Jay.
All right. Welcome back to the show. We will get right to history with Big E. Excited for today. I did want to give a shout out to Dimitri Vandenberg. Did you see him? Professional dart player. Impressive stuff, man. Sent fans into a frenzy yesterday. He threw a rare 9-darter. So we had a victory at the Professional Darts Corporation's Grand Slam of Darts. You want to see it really quick? It takes less than a minute. They say this is as rare as, and you won't believe this, Jay, but throwing a 9-dart leg is considered to be one of the greatest achievements in sport, similar to bowling a hat trick in cricket. Which,
Sure.
It's like, holy
Incredible.
shit.
Didn't we just cover one of these like a year ago?
Not at dart.
Oh
No.
man, I could swear. Okay.
This
Maybe
is,
something, maybe some offbeat sport thing, but not darts.
It's the first one he's recorded. Like at a bar or whatever. Maybe he's done it, but
I could
as far
swear.
as competition,
No, I'm not
goes-
saying this guy. I'm saying
Yeah.
this happened like a year ago and we
Really?
reported on it. I think.
I
No?
really don't
All right.
think so.
Well, this
Go.
is Dancing Dimitri. He's known. He loves to dance
Sure.
and shake his ass and all that kind of stuff. But here you go, folks. Get ready for it.
Felt the way the two darts were laying.
Triple
Triple
20.
20.
Triple
Weren't
20.
blocking. They were nicely positioned.
They were
Triple
markers.
20.
They were quality markers.
Awesome.
Fantastic from Vandenberg. Now the pressure's on Bunting.
Look at the shirts
Oh, look
these
at that
guys
guy,
wear.
yeah.
180s
This is worse than
for
bowling.
Dancing Dimitri. And Stephen
Look at this
now
athlete.
well and truly under the cosh, only
Just
60.
short,
Oh, Bunting.
You have to fear for him if
That's
Vandenberg
embarrassing.
goes on and breaks a throw.
not
Triple
here.
20,
Oh, he's
triple
at
20.
it again.
Triple 20.
Fill it up.
Triple 20.
Oh, shit.
Let me guess what's going to happen now.
Second
We've just
dart
entered the
was
7th inning of a
absolutely
no-no,
delightful.
right?
It left
Day away from the pitcher.
so much room in the
Bunting's
treble
got
20.
nothing.
We haven't seen one yet this
To
year.
have one weird eye going another way, like Bunting does, and still pull this off, it's really amazing. Here we go.
Triple 20.
Now
Fuck
it
you.
is
Two more.
treble 19.
Triple
shit.
19.
Double 12.
He's done it! He's done the impossible!
Unbelievable! Vandenberg has done the impossible!
He's been through on a personal basis.
Sounds like the FIFA announcers, man.
In the Grand Slam.
Taking this drip of cold water.
He's known as Dream Maker.
Oh,
You
yeah.
see the back of his shirt?
Well, moves like that is why.
Calm down.
Absolute dream maker.
Just calm down.
Calm down, everybody.
Easier said
What a
than
wonderful
done.
world we live in where you can make a living on that.
I know. Well,
Incredible.
Vandenberg, though, now he's going on to the third round of the Grand Slam. He'll either face, and I don't know who you would take, but he'll either face Gerwin Price or Josh Payne. And I'm
Oof.
thinking if he's going to he's got a chance over Gerwin Price. Dude, do you see a way
Payne?
that he could beat Josh Payne, though? Honestly?
I don't,
I mean,
personally.
he'd have to have another performance like that. And the odds of him having a second performance like that. So
So small.
hopefully Josh Payne has an off day and he doesn't have to meet him in the next round. But good luck to Dancing Dimitri. That was fantastic.
Now, before we get to this day in history with Big E, listener Ryan would like to give a little shot across the bow here. Maybe a little motivation for E to really bring it here.
I'm going to say it's bona fide.
A grievance has found me, says Ryan. My grievance is the recent piss-poor history lessons the past few weeks. Take, for example, number 1163 last week, Thursday. 2 pictures of the state of Montana? I, too, am a visual learner, and the outline of a state doesn't cut the mustard. Also, I think there needs to be a moratorium on any 1800s subject
not gonna
matter
happen if I'm gonna keep
and
doing
or
it.
wars/battles.
Not gonna happen.
If I find this marks the end of a battle between 2 countries no one knows about or some state adopted its official
What are you
word,
gonna do?
I'll pull his goddamn tongue out by the roots.
Oh, that's gonna be tricky.
Bona fide as fuck.
Yeah.
Well, the
BFAF.
day that I'm told what history content I'm gonna do is the end of the history day.
You can't put Jesus in a box.
No, dude, don't try to steal his First Amendment rights, okay?
All right, here's my thing, man. Jesus, I am a visual learner, so I need something. You got to bring something to me here, okay?
Sure.
All right.
All right.
This day in history with Big E.
All right. This is actually I would like to say like if you call like Bud Light, Miller Lite, and Coors Light the generic 3 beers that you get other than other shit.
The most
Agreed.
common.
Burger King, McDonald's, and Wendy's.
McDonald's. Yep. Okay.
And my favorite of the 3 is Wendy's, and it was founded today. First Wendy's ever opened up today in
Visual learner. All right, there's the first one.
1969.
Clearly the 60s. Look at the cars all around.
Oh yeah. So you wouldn't throw Taco Bell in the ring?
You know, because it's not a burger place. I'm talking about the burger ones.
Look at how similar the logo still is, right?
Isn't that crazy?
Yeah.
It absolutely is.
So basically, what I ended up looking more into is Dave Thomas. I feel like Dave Thomas, you know.
Well, that's the heyday of Wendy's, right?
I mean,
Everyone would
yeah.
agree.
Absolutely.
Rex David Thomas
Whoa,
was
really?
born
Wow.
July 2nd, 1932.
Why would he choose David over Rex?
Rex is bam. It's
Dude,
the king,
Rex.
man.
Well,
Take it.
I didn't quite understand
You
this
want
because
your
every
burger quarter pounder squared? You come down to Rex Thomas's
You
burger
know what though?
joint.
That wasn't his character. He was kind of unassuming. Maybe he didn't want to come strong like that.
I'm
you know?
kinda
He wasn't playing the power game.
Well,
Yeah,
I'll
he
say
was
this.
more jovial.
I'm kind of confused because here's the deal with this. It says under his name that his name is Rex David or David/Dave Thomas. But he was born he never knew his mother, was born in Atlantic City, never met his real mom, and was adopted by this family, Rex and Olivia Thomas. So
Born to a poor black family.
I don't quite understand if they named him Rex. And I could not seem to find out why his
Be
dad.
that as it may.
But he was so anyway. He never knew his own mother. Then his adopted mom dies when he's 5. By the time he's 5, he's had
Shit,
2
and this guy's been
moms
dealt.
dead. And so his dad has to travel around the country looking for work. And he actually spent a lot of time in Kalamazoo, Michigan, by the way. For
What was he selling? Vacuums?
No, I don't know. They didn't say what his dad did. He just had to travel around looking for work. And he got married several times after that. And at freaking 15, Dave Thomas is like, they're in Fort Wayne. And David's dad, once again, like, I'm going to move to, there's jobs over somewhere. And he's like, nah, I've got this restaurant job, not moving. Doesn't graduate high school,
Wow.
just quits school, quits everything. And it was his
Put his foot
biggest,
down. 15.
biggest regret in his life was never finishing school. He did go back and get his GED in like 93,
Why?
but
a guy who comes up with a square patty, though, he doesn't need high school.
No, dude.
the reason for the square patty was it was supposed to, as opposed to the round ones that the other people had, the square was supposed to stick out so people would see that it was fresh. That's the reasoning for
Well,
the
that's what
square
that
patty.
screams to me too.
Yeah,
I
get
see
that,
it round.
get
It's
that
like,
burger outside the bun. Is that
Yeah.
the deal?
Well,
Sort of a
right.
anti-where's the beef, right? There it is.
By the way,
There,
this,
yeah.
did you know that this, I wasn't going to get
honestly, when you see a round patty, your first thought is frozen, right?
Oh,
Whereas if
absolutely.
you see the
Of
square
course.
one, it's like obviously fresh.
I wasn't going to get to this early.
I don't
this-
even think you can freeze square patties.
It's not
I think
possible.
they're
No,
immune to it.
absolutely not.
I wasn't going to get to this, but of course you mentioned the where's the beef. I don't know if you realize
Where's the beef?
Dude, that
chick-
took the nation by storm.
As it should. As
That
it
was
should.
that little old lady was the where is she?
Well, here's
I'm a
what,
visual learner.
Here's what I was going to say about her. I can pull that commercial
Where's
up.
the beef? Dude,
But-
okay, let me ask you a quick, sorry to interrupt you, but let me ask you a quick question. As far as storming the nation goes, avoid the Noid.
No.
Where's the beef?
Where's the beef?
I've fallen, I can't get up.
Yeah,
where's
where's
the
dude? It would
beef?
fall if it can't get up.
You think I've fallen, I can't get up is second?
How about
tier
what's
to-
up?
What's that? I had to bring that one back.
Dude, where's the beef was enormous.
You think more so than I've fallen and I can't get up?
Yes.
Wow.
And maybe it was just the age I was.
Okay.
And I found that hilarious that this little old lady would say that. Look at this little tiny lady. What's her name, E?
So help me if you
Clara
don't know.
Peller.
Yes, Clara
But here's the
Peller.
thing I was gonna say about her. So when you say it blew up like a motherfucker, Clara decided she was gonna take advantage of the blowing up, and she got fired in the end from Wendy's because she went and did another commercial for this like Prego commercial,
Really?
and she
Greedy
while
bitch.
shilling for this spaghetti sauce, Peller declared that she had finally found the beef, which Wendy's
Oh.
felt undercut the point of their ads and canned her.
Oh, yeah. Holy shit.
so that,
Contrary to the spirit of their agreement, no
Dude,
question
right.
about it.
You wanna
That's a case of sabotage. You were looking to get out of your Wendy's deal.
Saboteur! You saboteur, Clara!
I found the beef in a Prego can? Holy shit.
You want to watch this or?
Yeah.
Okay.
Before she was a monster, this is
Right,
the
right.
good old days.
It certainly is a big bun.
It's a very big bun.
Big fluffy bun.
It's a very big fluffy bun.
Where's the beef?
Gets me every time.
Where's the beef?
Where's the beef?
I love it. I love that.
And Wendy's single has
Oh, look at that poop smoke. Where's the beef?
So that was Dave's thing. We'll have it sticking out the edge. There's the beef. There
Right,
it is.
right,
It's
there it is.
undeniable.
Yeah.
There it
Thinking,
is.
Dave.
I still think you're not giving enough credit to a fallen I can't get up, but that's for that's a debate for another day.
Right. So here's the other thing. So he was working, as I said, in this restaurant place, and became head chef. And the Colonel, is trying to make KFC get bigger, and he comes to Fort Wayne, and the place there where Thomas ends up starts becoming a franchise for Kentucky Fried Chicken, and for some reason, I don't exactly know why, but like Thomas was looked at as well enough as a restaurateur, I suppose, that he is called upon to help save KFC. KFC is not doing very well, and his biggest things.
The Colonel called Rex and asked for his help?
Yes.
Wow.
Yes, and his biggest things is that the KFC had too many menu items. They had over 100 menu items. He's like, dude, you gotta do like 7, and make those really good. And the other was the commercials for KFC. He's like, dude, you need to be in these commercials yourself, Colonel. You don't want to be hiring people. You should be in the commercials. So he fucking made a big deal with KFC. Eventually, though, he's in Columbus, Ohio, trying to save some restaurants there. He kind of wants to do his own thing. He sells his money, his shares in KFC, and he's like, there's no good burger places in Columbus. So he creates his own burger place.
Shit. Wow. Ray Kroc didn't like hearing
and he
that.
said that, and he directly said that he did not believe that McDonald's or Burger King were making a good enough burger.
Wow.
And he was gonna
Dave.
And people, his family was questionable. They were
a gap in the market, and he filled it.
His
family
family like
was not-
the East Coast West Coast rap wars. You know what I mean?
It's very serious.
I mean, to call out Kroc like that.
And at one point, by the way, as a kid, he wanted to be. He was interested in food. Literally worked in restaurants since he was like 12. He actually he was fired from a restaurant job at one point because he lied to how young he was. He was like 12, and they said he was 15, and or whatever it was, and they fired him. But he basically said, because as a kid, he thought he loved food, and he thought if he could ever eat all he wanted for free, what would better job would they do than that? Like basically, if he could just create a restaurant where he could eat.
I kind of felt the same way about his Super Bar. I got to be honest with you.
Yeah, I know.
If I could pilfer all the free shit off your Super Bar, Dave, and eat it for free, it was a great time in my
glorious
life.
salad bar back then.
Glorious. So, Isis, how did the Wendy's thing come to be? Was it really his daughter?
Yes, but it was a nickname. What was
Did she really look like Pippi Longstocking?
You know what? Here, just 1 second. I will tell you this, kind of. But
is she still alive?
Here's the thing about her. Here's the thing about what it was. Is her name was actually, where was it? Fuck. She had
wasn't Wendy?
It better fucking be Wendy.
No, it was a nickname because she couldn't, as a child, her name was like Mary Lou or Wenda or something, and she couldn't pronounce it as a kid. Like she she would just say Wendy, and that became a nickname, and that's where that came from. I forget exactly what the name was, but it is named after. Yes, it is named after his daughter.
An image. I'm a digital learner. I'd love to see
nude photos would be preferred too.
Young Wendella.
Video or nude pics or something. I'm sure she did a spread at
some point. She grew up, right?
Right.
You know how much you love looking at 10-year-olds' asses, E. So don't pull up a 10-year-old.
I mean, here she is now. I think we've seen these before because she was in a. I noticed that she was in a. I've noticed that a few years ago. I mean, maybe other people did too. They threw her in a commercial. If you remember this.
Oh, I do, Marge.
A few years ago, and it didn't go very well.
Yeah.
Oh, I wonder why. I mean, she's not a redhead, and she doesn't have the pigtails.
Right, and she was not. Well, I think
blows
it was more,
everybody's image of what Wendy was and
then if you remember, if anyone remembers this, I don't. Then it became, of course, this is the reason. The reason I think it didn't work is more
this chick.
Then you get.
Yes, I remember this chick.
Who's a little thinner. Wendy. A little more attractive, maybe.
Hotter. Titties look good. Actual redhead. Yeah.
So
all right, get the pig off the screen. Bring in the.
Right.
Bring in Wendy number 2.
So anyway, Wendy's was killing it. By the way, like legit killing it for a long time, to the point where in 1982 Dave steps away, or at least from like day-to-day operations, yada yada, and then it just starts tanking. To the point where the guy running the whole corporation was like, Dave, you need to come back. Like, we need you here more regularly. And that's when he starts doing the commercials.
Believe me, McDonald's is right behind this. They're going to be begging Ron to come back at some point. He's been MIA. We've all noticed it.
Yeah, but she just got reelected to Michigan's Senate seat, so she's busy.
I'm not saying it's going to happen tomorrow.
So early 80s is when Wendy's came on my radar.
Well, it says in 1982 is when he resigned from the day-to-day, But, however, by 1985, it was already starting to have issues. And so he's like, dude, you've got to come back.
So he comes back and he introduces the Frosty, I presume?
The Frosty is
Genius.
actually one of the few items that has always been on the menu. It's one of the Frosty is one of the original Fry products from the 1969 menu. And by the way, another thing about the Frosty, even though because they now have a vanilla, but it wasn't introduced till like 2003 or I don't know when it was.
Great move.
But the Frosty, although is chocolate, is not all chocolate. It actually was
what? What did he just say?
The chocolate Frosty is not all chocolate. It is actually a blend of
Careful
vanilla.
what you say next, Ethan. Very careful. Tread softly, my friend.
The chocolate Frosty is a blend of vanilla and chocolate because Dave Thomas wanted a thick milkshake that didn't overwhelm the taste of a hamburger and felt a pure chocolate dessert was too much. He cut the flavor with vanilla and declared it perfect.
He's genius.
It is kind of a genius flavor, isn't it?
He was like, look, I'm willing to let the chocolate go for my pudding in the salad bar, the super bar.
Yeah.
Not the Frosty.
Not the Frosty.
No.
It's a mix of vanilla. That's interesting. Did he anticipate the dipping of
I don't know
French fried potatoes?
I don't know
Frosty?
if he did that or
No,
not.
he didn't invent that?
I don't know about that
So
or not.
where does Wendy's stand now in relation to the other big two that you described as Burger King and
I
McDonald's?
actually don't know. That's
easy. God damn you to hell. You're supposed to anticipate the easiest questions.
I didn't think about that.
I don't even think it's close. Wendy's is so much better than Burger King or McDonald's.
Like
it's
worldwide,
not even close.
are they in China and shit?
I don't know. There's definitely. I mean, it's McDonald's, and then it's a whole lot further down before
I
Burger
will say
King
this,
or
dude,
Wendy's
and
gets in the game. But
I've really tried to back off fast food this whole last summer and whatnot. But out of the three, I would agree with Mike. I don't know.
You want to go to Wendy's today?
I would fucking love to go to Wendy's and get a double.
Shit. It's really good.
I was trying to think of some other things about him that were in. He was in the war. He served in Korea.
Thank you for your service, David.
And I will say this: he rather than waiting for a draft, he chose to do it because he wanted to go in and be able to make a choice on more where he went. And of course, what a big shock! He went into like food industry in the army and was like a cook, chef over there. He's worked with many adoption agencies. He didn't find out he was adopted until he was 13. He said his grandma finally, like at 13, revealed that he was adopted, and it like blew his world.
Ugh.
He really, really bummed him out. So he did a shit ton of work with adoption stuff.
You know what? I think they really turned the corner. Was the Where's the Beef is fine, Frosty fine, but those commercials or those training videos. Remember the training videos we watched? Because they really tapped into a market that was really not well represented, and that was the birth of the hip hop movement. And so Wendy's has these training videos, and he has watched 1,000 of these things. Every time he takes a new job at Tim Hortons, they're like, here's how you pour the coffee. Here's how you snap the lid on. And so, Wendy's is no different. They've got their training videos. But they knew that people were, even back then starting to gap out too fast. So they had to keep it edgy, as they're teaching. And so I think they really hit the mark with some of these videos, like the grill skills video, which you could see online. Go ahead, E.
So let's get busy now. Come on, let's go.
This is a training video?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, shit, man. Ha! Got like Grandmaster Flash here.
Yeah.
Now working the grill, Bill, it ain't so tough. But first of all, you got to check your stuff. Like a grill that's set at 250 with the meat and cheese that's ready to go.
Hell yeah.
A towel to keep your station looking cool. But most of all, you got to have your tool.
Air guitar.
He's air guitaring a special.
Are you with me now? Get ready. We're gonna lay them down.
Dude, I want to look at Wendy's right now.
Grain to it just like wood. You got to follow the arrow to lay it down like you should. From the front to the back, you got to lay it down. Space it evenly, not scattered around. Next, you got to salt the meat from the back to the front to make the taste complete. Not too little, not too much. With a little finesse, you'll get the touch.
You.
What's coming up next is our key.
You're sitting in some tiny little office with paperwork stacked everywhere, and they're making you watch this video.
Or the meat won't reach the proper size.
Yeah, like a 9-inch TV, black and white TV.
Black and white.
But don't be slow, just turn them over easily. We don't want a broken patty, that's a guarantee.
Key, this is key.
Press out the corners, 1, 2, 3, 4. Rock it a bit.
Oh, they're pressing out all the flavor. Any good grill master would say you don't press the patty.
Don't tell them how to do their burgers, man.
Crazy.
He explains it.
I'm pressing out all the flavor.
You gotta think when the meat hits the grill, it starts to shrink.
We start shrinking.
Oh my God.
You know it will. We start shrinking.
This is why you push out the corners.
You know it will.
When you see red juices on the top of the meat, it's time to give the turn and press a repeat. Do it again just like you did before. Do the four-corner press just one time more. Now, once you press this the second time, don't press them again because the meat's just fine. But when you see red juices rise, turn the patty over to the other side.
It's a lot more involved than you thought, isn't it?
We want it wet, you see, and keep the meat moist so it's
He hasn't even cheesed the son of a bitch yet.
When the meat's red juices no longer rise, you can
Seriously.
serve that patty, it'll win a prize.
Oh my God.
It's about 4 minutes to cook, but just to make sure you can have a look. Use your tool and double check. It should be gray and moist to be correct.
A lot of work.
Place you're ready to go.
There's no chance to do that every time. No fucking chance that's happening every time I go like this.
Not a chance.
Look
at that. How good is that?
You give it a shot. Don't be afraid. I think
They got the generic wrap thing over the arms. Like,
Where do I
what do I do? Just remember the rap, Billy, and you'll be cool.
Shit.
nerdy white guy, hip black guy.
Meat's got grain to it, just like wood. Follow the arrows. Lay it down like you should. From
they got
front
this.
to back, lay it down.
This is two kids from communities that wouldn't usually be.
They're connecting.
Next,
I mean, dude, look at the bridges
I've
being
gotta
built here.
salt the meat,
From the back to the front, it makes
See,
the
we're all
taste complete.
not all that different.
not too little.
This kid needs a
Not too
do-rag
much.
after this.
With the little finesse, I think I'm getting the touch.
Yeah.
Shit.
When things start to sizzle, you're ready to go.
Gently turn the meat, but don't be slow.
Just turn them over easily.
Bitch just flipped the fucking burger.
Press them now, right?
Yeah, press out all the
How
flavor.
come though the
Four corners.
trainee's shirt looks a little different than the instructor shirt?
Press
Yeah, he's
out
got more
the
flash and
corners,
flair.
nice and wide about.
Oh, that period in hip hop when white guys controlled the industry, right?
Yeah.
And so that it was tough.
Boy, that Grandmaster Flash is really doing a number in New York. We got to capitalize on this.
Oh man.
I should say,
My niece has been really watching this Grandmaster Flash, whoever that gentleman is.
you know, I have
Get
a
Mr. Flash on the phone for me.
I have a connection to Wendy's as well. As some people might remember, I was sitting in the Wendy's at my set. I'd already technically been hired, but I was sitting there the day when I was going through an updated version of those videos. And on my phone, when I saw that the Kickstarter got to like 40,000 or something, like, fucking our Kickstarter got to 40,000. I'm sitting here at Wendy's, and I just remember going like, yeah, I'm good. I'm good.
You walked out at that moment?
I didn't tell him, like, not at that moment,
But
but
you decided
I
in
didn't,
your mind it was over
I
right
didn't
there.
come back.
Dude, it's funny you say that because I've been reading Anthony Cumia's new book that's coming out soon, but and he tells a very similar story about when he was like had written a parody song, you know, that was being played on radio stations all over New York. He's like, motherfucker, I'm knocking tin up in some asshole's attic at 120 degrees,
Right.
listening to my shit on the radio. So you're not the only one.
I hear it. Well, me and Anthony Kuma, I mean, obviously.
Yeah, a lot in common. Lot in common.
Well, Isis, thank you for that lesson. That was interesting. Now, on to more important matters.
Douglas!
Get ready, Isis. You're not done. Join in.
And then we're gonna hide our best friend Doug, and then we're gonna give him a best friend hug.
Go, Isis.
Doug. Can we make this Pat Green? Like maybe if Pat Green did the Doug song.
If you can get Pat to do the Doug song, by all means, we'll
I'm going
switch
to
gears.
reach out to his people to see if he can do this for me.
Hey, now's the time. Contact Realtor Doug Steinert. Call him at 248-765-1781. He and the team at Century 21 Campbell will work to get you the absolute best deal on the sale and or purchase of your home. Doug's the man. He's easy to work with. Great friend of the show. So call Douglas today, 248-765-1781. That's 248-765-1781. Now, on to email. If you'd like to write in the show, please send us your thoughts to email at DetroitCast.com. And by the way, before I get to email proper, I must mention the Amazon link.
Sure.
This is prime holiday shopping season. This is a time where you can really hook us up. Please use our link, DetroitCast.com. Shop through that. Click away. Go through that. It doesn't charge you anymore.
Yeah.
Everybody's shopping Amazon
I just bought
now.
a wallet
And
the other day.
If I find you're listening to this show and you're not using our Amazon link, but yet you're shopping on Amazon, you're a cocksucker.
You are. Well, we are not afraid to suspend people from listening too. If we find enough damning evidence that you have done that, we will suspend your listening privileges for up to a week.
We will.
Yeah.
We've been known to do it.
We have done it.
Done it in past years.
Mm-hmm.
Bill writes in, J, Gay, and Lay Z. I'll always do the New York City line when somebody mentions New York City as well. Listener from day one, Bill in Lapeer. Rest in peace, Mike. Bitch. Jesus, do you have this New York City Pace salsa commercial? Now, this is where I remember the phrase New York City came to my mind out of the blue the other day.
I was talking about New York City. You just went, New York City.
New York City.
And E finally, a few seconds later, went, what the fuck was that?
Yeah. All right, here it is. People are going to remember this. It's a commercial from probably early 90s.
I definitely remember
Floyd,
this.
more Pace Picardi sauce.
There you go.
Floyd, this ain't Pace.
Well, so what?
Pace is made in San Antonio.
By folks who know what pecani sauce should taste
Dude.
like. Hey, this stuff's made in New York City.
New York City!
Pick up the original.
Totally remember that
And that
ad.
wormed into my brain.
Dude, oh my God.
And spewed forth, 25 years later?
Yeah.
There's
as soon as I saw the campfire setting, it was like, oh, yes.
Remember that?
Wait, this stuff's made in New York City.
New York City.
There is some things that just all generations have that, like, this young generation will miss out on this. Commercials, Netflix is awesome. On-demand entertainment is awesome, but they will miss out, I think, on there is funness or some entertainment and going back, and I love seeing commercials from when I was a kid.
Oh, yeah.
And just like, oh, shit, I remember that Ninja Turtles commercial and shit.
Yeah, I remember we used to be able to get, like, bootleg back in the day. People were like, oh, yeah, we recorded the football game. Bootleg, you could watch the 1980 Super Bowl or 70, and it's like, and a lot of them would cut the commercials. It's like, it would go to, and it's like, no, I want to see the car drive through that giant Gillette wall of shaving cream.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Or see a Volvo for $2.
See the person chuck the bell tire through the plate glass window.
I forgot about that.
Or Dietrich first from the Dietrich family. Hey, NFL Bob writes in, Sire, Meyer, and Liar. As a lifelong Red Wings fan and having attended games from the Olympia to LCA, I can say that when the Wings won the Stanley Cup in '97, nary a tear was shed by this Wings fan.
Yeah, but Bob.
And I was at the clinching game. Just a celebratory cigar, says Bob. I'm with
Bob's
Jay.
more like you.
If you're younger than 60, you can't cry for a sporting event. Good day, I
That's
said
ridiculous
goodbye.
and dumb, but
no. Who programmed him? Do you know? Do we even know
Just
who
a
his
normal guy,
programmer
dude.
was?
He's got perspective.
Bob's more like you.
Bob's a guy with a family who realizes like a winning team isn't like the end of the fucking day. You know?
Well, unless he can prove he actually has tear ducts, I'm not. It's
Right,
like,
I
it might
agree.
be of no fault of his own, but
Well, he enjoys the sport, but puts it in perspective. Good for you,
yeah,
Bob.
he just has no emotions.
You're
That's
right on
cool.
this one, Bob. Bob's
Cool.
right. Kurt writes in, Rock Hard, King, Cock Ring, and Seaman Fling. Listening to a best of with the wood chipper reminded me of a true story. Yeah, one of the recent best ofs Joel included. One of our wood chipper stories.
Yeah.
Is a guy who it was his first day on the job.
my God.
Yeah, rough first day, if I remember.
It wasn't Hernandez. Hernandez was the guy that we speculated maybe had some gambling
situation.
Yeah, gambling debts, and so he fed like an old big piece of meat through it and then skipped town.
Yeah.
I still wonder.
No, that wasn't Hernandez. It was the next one. But this Kurt has a story. My uncle's friend started a business blowing insulation into houses. So he's doing an attic, and his helper is downloading cellulose into the chopper/blower. All of a sudden in the attic, it sprays red. The machine has gotten clogged, and his helper stuck his hand in to free the jam and lost his arm almost to the elbow.
Oh.
My uncle's friend ran down, put a tourniquet on him, saved his life, but almost lost everything he owned. Can't imagine the terror he felt seeing that sprayed blood and gore. Okay, a member's only grievance has found me, says Kurt. So all you cheapskates, tune the fuck out. Start the clock. All right, we can do that. You want to be put to the clock?
If you're not a member, you need to mute the audio.
The show's
right
ended for you right now. Just go about your weekend.
Yeah. Have a great weekend, everybody. We'll see you Monday. Here we go. Why the fuck is member content numbered in reverse order, with the newest content being number 1 always? It's so fucking annoying. I mean, reroute some Kickstarter funds and get a nerd over there to reverse the order. I get lost and re-listen to some ramblings and get deja vu until I realize I've heard this one 3 times now. Damn you! Damn you! You make my bones hurt.
Isn't that because the latest one we put in is number 1 right now? That's number 1.
That's right. Sincerely, OG member Kurt.
Number 1 and currently the best because it's the newest.
Kurt, you will notice that we do give a brief description of content.
Yeah.
Next to each member file. It's not as if we number them like, member file 001, member file 002. Like we're actually ignore the numbers. We'll say like, TDC discusses whatever, Big E and J discusses whatever. We actually describe it, Kurt.
Yeah.
So that's kind of on you. Pussy old man. Pussy old man, Kurt.
For sure. He should be able to read the title and go, oh, yeah, I heard that one
Heard
twice.
that one. Yeah.
I'm not going to listen to that again. I heard it twice.
Mike, we'll save the rest for Monday. What was that,
Jesus Christ.
Way to end the week,
Are you kidding me?
We were moments away from going out on a nice note.
Shit. You're sending us into the weekend with that?
Oh, and could you mention this?
You son of a bitch.
Could you mention this thing,
well,
too?
weekend ruined. What, are you just going to leave your speaker and your phone up open all willy-nilly like the show's over for me? Fuck everybody else.
My God, man.
Unbelievable. I'm sorry.
We almost
folks.
had it, you know?
We did. That was as close as we're going to get, too. As close as we're going to get. And now he wants to, you plug the show. I'm disgusted with him.
If you want a chance to win an autographed Darren McCarty jersey and give to the South Oakland Shelter, all you have to do is go to ericfady.com and give $25 between now and Friday at midnight to be entered into the drawing. Yeah, hey, he's got a great signed jersey, McCarty jersey up there. It's signed beautifully. It's stitched. It's one of these nice jerseys. It's not one of these, Meyer bullshit $10 ones.
Yeah.
Give $25 or more to ericfady.com right now. Go there right now. Give $25 or more, and you'll be entered into a drawing.
You have till Friday at midnight. Shame on you, E.
Sorry.
Have a great weekend, everybody. We'll except you. See you next week.
Listening to the Detroit Cast with your hosts, Mike and Jay. From all of us at Radio for One Studios, thank you for listening. And as always, thank you, Detroit.
Listen, sugar.